Are you failing the Xactimate Level 1 user certification exam and watching deployment opportunities pass you by? I'm Matt, and I'm an Xactimate certified trainer who's been using Xactimate to make a six-figure living since the late 90s. And in this video, I'm taking you through the first part of the Level 1 practice exam, including test questions with answers. And if you like this kind of in-depth Xactimate training, I started a whole new YouTube channel called Estimate TV, which also has the second half of this practice exam, the Easton Project, and you can check it out right up here or down in the description. All right, let's get into this starting now. This is the Level 1 certification practice exam, and here are the instructions. This particular PDF document will be linked in the description where you're watching this video. Okay, so very quickly, open up Xactimate, click on New Project, change the name to XW Weston, spell correctly, carrier profile, hit create. The price list we want to use is the request price list. I'm going to do it by name. You should have it already. UTOR 8X underscore November 18. Hit download. Found it. Hit next. The sales tax wants to be 6.25%. Okay. And then under parameters, we want to add 10 and 10 for overhead and profit. It's not cumulative. And then we're going to go to the sketch window. And I'm going to collapse that. I'm going to also close these panes by holding down Shift and tapping the Enter key. And I want to go to my options, preferences, and make sure that my defaults are the same. So all walls are 4 inches thick, ceiling height is 8 inches, all doors are 2'6" by 6'8". Standard and deduct opening set to no, which means that if this is checked off, it means that's yes. So we're going to say no. Windows are 5 by 4 by 3, so 5 foot wide by 4 foot tall, 3 foot from the floor. Deduct is no, and then the missing wall defaults is yes. Any deduct opening property that's set to yes is also set to if yes then is greater than 0, which is this. Okay, so it should be the default anyway. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and make this diagram. This is the overview. And on the next page, it shows kind of close-ups, including this information for each one, right? So these are all the rooms for that. And then below that, it has a bunch of line items for the estimate. And then this is the Easton estimate, which we're not going to do on this one. So, I don't know. I think starting in the upper left-hand corner is probably the best thing here in the kitchen. So what we're going to do, so I'm going to go kind of clockwise on this. So I'll start at the kitchen and then go to the bedroom and then go to the bathroom, the second bedroom, the living room. That includes the stairs, I think. Let's see. I don't know that it matters, honestly. So just to get the hard part out of the way, why don't we start with the living room instead? They're starting with the kitchen. No, let's start with the kitchen just to keep it simple and not confuse things. So, grab a room, R key, drop our room down. It's 14'2" by 12. All right, so 14'2" is that one. 14,2 by 12. Double click. It's the kitchen. Okay. Now you can go ahead and put doors and windows and things like that in there now, or you can wait. We can get the kind of the broad strokes of this thing and then throw all that stuff in later. But so let's go ahead and do the, doesn't say anything about the height of the ceiling or the floor, so those are going to be default. So now let's create the living room. Hold down the control key on your keyboard and then left click, hold and drag that box. Pull this out. It wants to be 17'4", 17,4, right? And I want to hit B for the brake tool. Drop it right about there. Not going to hold down control. I'm just going to left click, hold and drag that up. And this wants to be about 2 feet. And this distance here wants to be 7 feet, and that one wants to be 7'2". So if I just change this one to 7, it should fix that other one to 7'2", which it did. Okay. So far, so good. So double click this, and we'll call it the living room. Now let's add some stairs to this. Let's try do custom. And this is 4'6"-ish. Run it up to there. Right? It's not showing me that distance. This should be 9'8" here. If you're brand new to the storm claims industry and you're watching this video trying to figure out where to even start, I've put together a complete beginner's guide to becoming an independent property adjuster over at adjustertv.com/start. Get instant access to this updated free 9-video series that walks you through the entire path from complete beginner to ready to handle claims. So if that's where you're at in your journey, pause this video, head over to adjustertv.com/start, get signed up, and then come back and we'll finish this one together. Okay, so the stairs, we will edit the stairs here. It says number of risers 14. All right, so double click on the stairs. Make sure you have the stairs selected and not the wall or the inside of the wall or whatever, but the stairs. Double click. And the number of risers is risers 14. The total rise is 9 foot. It's a box ceiling. Right there. 17 is the base. And the height top is 8 foot. The wall at the top of the stairs here, I have to click on it, go to properties, and it says wall type missing above stairs, which it already is. And there's a missing wall at the base of the stairs, which it already did. Stairs is not a subgroup of the living room, okay? With me? 9'8" is that distance. And the stairs themselves are 3 foot wide. Okay, now let's go to the next room. Bedroom. Where does this sit here? So this shares walls here. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this straight off. Hold down the control key, pull this out. And actually I'm going to do that again. Hold down the control key, pull this out. And I'm going to change this 1 to 3. And I'm going to hold down control key, pull that down to there. And do it again. Pull that down to there. And that wants to be 3 as well. If you're falling behind, just pause, rewind. Pantry. Pantry is 3'8". So we can deal with that in a minute, or we can deal with it now, which we're right there. So 3'8", we'll just leave that. So this is the pantry. This is the closet, which is a subgroup. Well, let's change this to bedroom 1, as they say. This wants to be a subgroup of bedroom 1. And this wants to be 10'11". 10, 11. With me so far? And this wants to actually be 10'5". No. Change it that way, 10, 5. Bedroom 2. Where's that one? Interesting. I think we need to do the bathroom first. Hold down the control key, left click, hold and drag, pull this out. We'll say this is 4'7". Then we'll use the brake tool, tap the B key, 4 foot, pull this down. 2'6" is what that number wants to be. And then we're going to go up to this bedroom. Control, left click, hold and drag. Just basically take this out to where it wants to go. Probably a few different ways to do this. And that's good. Is that right? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to pull the bedroom off of this first, and then do this. (2'9". Yeah, that's right. 2,9. Left click, hold and drag, pull that out to the bathroom, 2'5". I'm sorry, the closet. Closet 2. This is bedroom 2. So I'll make our closet a subgroup of bedroom 2. And this wall here is 9'3", 9,3, which incidentally kind of lines up right there. And then we grab the brake tool, left click, hold and drag, and then pull that out. It wants to be 2 feet. And this one wants to be 3'9", 3,9. And this number here wants to be 4'6", 4,6. And that should, if I did it right, which I didn't. So this actually needs to go over to here. And this wall needs to come down to here. And this is the hallway. This guy needs to come up, I think, to those stairs. 2'9", yep. Okay, so now that makes more sense. So this one wants to be 4'6", 4,6. So that should make this 6, oh, hold on, 3'9", 3,9. So now that should be 6 feet. Okay, bedroom 2's done. It's pretty much the layout, right? Did I get that right? The pantry, let's go up to the pantry here real quick. It's 3'8" by 3. It's just got doors. The hallway. It's about 8 foot by 3. Make sure that this is correct. Missing above stairs. So we had originally set this wall here at the top of the stairs to missing above stairs, but when we put that hallway in, it knocked it back to the full wall. So we needed to change that. So keep an eye on things like that, because that's how you can get screwed up on the test. Okay, now let's go back. And what I like to do is double check all dimensions at least one more time when I'm taking the test. Oopsie. What you doing? There we go. So 14'2" by 12, right? The living room is 12 foot here, 7'2" here, 2 foot here, 7 foot there, and 17'4" there. And then this is 9'8". It's not showing me that dimension for some reason. Next room, we got the bedroom 1. That one is 10'5", 10'11", and then our little closet here. It's a subgroup of the bedroom. It's 3 and 3. As soon as we do this, we'll then look at the door, or add all the doors and windows. And then our next room that they have us looking at here is bedroom 2, which is 2'9", 3 foot, 12 foot, 4'6", 6, 3'9", 9'3". And then our little closet here is 3'7". Whoops. It's 3'10", 3,10. 3,10 by 2'5". And then this room here should be 6'9", which it is. Always go back and double check everything. Every measurement. 4'2", 4'7", 10'11", and then it's not showing me that because I haven't put the doors in yet. And then our pantry and hallway. Pantry is 3'8" by 3, and the hallway is 8 by 3. So 4'9". 4'9" plus 3 inches is 5, plus 3 is 8. 8 feet. So that number. Okay, now let's go back through here real quick and throw in all our doors and windows, and then we'll do the estimate. So we have a default window. So we're going to grab a window and stick it there. Then we have a sliding door with the duct door set to yes. So we're going to have a door here, sliding, and it's 6 foot wide. 6 foot. And the duct opening is set to yes. Okay, it's important. Doesn't matter exactly where it is on the wall, but we're going to slide it over here just to make it kind of look a little bit more like the diagram. And then we have a 3 by 6'8" double door into the pantry. So pantry, let's see, standard 3 foot, enter, and then we'll open up the properties. It says double door, yes. So now it gives us our double door, right? And then we have 3 foot, 6-inch missing walls with flat arch into hallway and into living room. So we have a missing wall there and a missing wall there. And that's easy to do. So we hit missing wall, left click, hold, and drag. We said it was 3 foot by 3'6". So 3,6 to get us the right dimensions. And then I'm going to open up the properties. You can double click on it. And I'm going to change the top. Let's make this easier to see. Change it to a flat arch, right? And then I'm going to click on it once, left click on it, copy, and then paste anywhere, and it loads that onto your cursor, and then drop it there. We'll do that one more time. So in order to duplicate something, we left click, copy, then right click anywhere, it doesn't matter where, just to hit paste, or you can hit Control V on a keyboard. Now that is loaded onto my cursor, and wherever I click is where it'll put another one of those. You can see those are flat arches. New feature in Xactimate, which you may or may not know about, if you go down here to View, and you say cutaway walls, then it will let you see through the wall that's right in front of you to the next thing, right? If that makes sense. So you can see your stuff. Okay, is that everything in here? We have a default window. Go through these things, double check. This is why people don't get good scores on these exams, because they don't double check these things and they go too fast. They whip through it and they're like, okay, let's jump into, I'm impatient, I want to jump into the test. Put the brakes on, just pump the brakes like we used to do. Go back in, double check that you got everything in there before moving on to the next thing. When you're doing real claims in real life and you're standing up on a roof or you're walking through an insured's house, exact same thing. Double check everything before you leave that room, before you leave that slope and go to the next one, so that you don't have to backtrack and you can catch errors that can trip you up, that can reduce your fee bill, that can generate a reinspection, right? Double check. So we have a default window, which we said was 5 foot tall by, or sorry, 5 foot wide by 4 foot tall, 3 foot off the ground, deduct no, right? Just like in the default. Then we have a 6 foot by 6'8". 6'8" is the default height for doors in any building. But this one's 6 foot wide. We could change the width here as well if we wanted to, right? We could make it 8 foot wide. You notice that it changed, but we don't want to. We want to make it 6. And it said here that we wanted to deduct doors to yes. Okay. And then we had this double door here, which was 3 foot wide. 3 foot wide. It's a double door right there. Deduct door no. And then we had our 2 missing walls. And those, because of the defaults, should be set to deduct opening yes. Okay? Satisfied that this is correct, I'm going to go to the next one, which is already has the missing wall here as one of the items, right? And we have a default window and default door, and then 2 lights on either side of the door. And a light is a little window that's next to a door. Okay, so we have a default window. Just tap the W key, and it's going to be right there. And then we'll tap the D key for door, which is it's going to be a 3'6" by 2'8". So I'm sorry, 2'6" by 6'8" door, right? And now we need those 2 lights. So basically what you do for that is you grab a window, default window, and then you just left click, hold, and drag. They're 1 foot, right, on either side of the door. See that? 2 1 foot by 5'8" standard picture windows on either side of the door with a 1 foot base height. So we need to change that one before we make the other one. So the base height, start with the base height off the floor, because if you make it taller than the ceiling, if you do the height first, it'll make it taller than the ceiling and it won't work. So you have to start with the base height, which is the distance from the floor to the bottom of the window. So make that 1, and then it said that the height of that window, the width is 1 foot and the height is 5'8", 5,8. Doesn't say anything about deducting window, so we just leave it. So now our window looks like this, right? So it's taller. It's 1 foot at the bottom of that window. The window is 5'8" tall and it's 1 foot wide. Now all we have to do is click on it, right click, copy, right click, paste, and stick it right there, give or take. Those are called lights. Right? If you're talking to a contractor and he's like, oh yeah, we need to replace the lights by the front door, he may or may, he's probably not talking about the lamps or the lights that's with the light switch and everything. He's probably talking about these. Okay, those are called lights. Okay, now double check again. Default window, default door, 3 foot 6 inch missing wall, flat arch into kitchen, and then these 2 lights. And we already did our stairs, so we're good to go there. Make sure that this is wall type missing above stairs for that top guy right there. Okay. You can see that. That's missing above stairs. If it's not missing above stairs, this is what it looks like. Full, which is what the default would be, then it's a wall. Make sense? So set that back to missing above stairs. Okay, next room. Bedroom 1 and closet. We have a default window. So tap the W key, slap that guy down, right? Default window, 5 foot, double check it, 5 foot wide by 4 foot high by 3 foot off of the floor. Important thing to note, windows and doors are expressed in width by height. So whenever you're talking to a contractor or a homeowner, it's width by height. Oftentimes, doors and windows will be expressed in inches instead of by feet. So you wouldn't say a 2'6" by 6'8" door, or we'll say a 5 foot wide by 4 foot tall window. A contractor would say a 60 by 48, right? Something like that. And then we have 2 doors. 2 default doors in a closet, 1 in a hallway. Closet 1 is a subgroup of bedroom 1. So we just need to drop in 2 doors. So doorway, log that, or stick that on your cursor, right? It says there's a little D on there. Hold down the control key on your keyboard, which allows you to do multiple doors without having to re-click on the tool. So hold down the control key and tap once there, and then tap once there. And it's still on my cursor. You can see a little D on there. If I just click off somewhere, then it goes away. But I want to change these to match the diagram. So I select the door and I go to flip horizontal, flip vertical in order to change those. Okay. Again, default window, 1, 2 doors. And then this is a subgroup of bedroom 1. And we check that by looking here. Subgroup of bedroom 1. Next, bedroom 2. Bedroom 2 has exact same thing as bedroom 1. The default window and then 2 default doors into closet 2 and hallway. That's closet 2, that's the hallway, right? So we'll do our window first, W, it goes right there. And then D for door, hold down Control, click there, and then tap the escape key or to click off somewhere. Doesn't matter, but I'm going to orient these the same way as the diagram, just so it looks the same. Okay, double check. 1 window, 2 default doors. Closet 2 is a subgroup of bedroom 2. Okay, moving on. Bathroom has 1 default door. Tap the D key, slap it on there. And I'm going to flip it so that it fits, so that it looks right. Okay, that was easy. And then the hallway and the pantry. The hallway has 3 default doors into bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and bathroom, and they're already there because we already put them on there for those other rooms. And then it has a missing wall between the hallway and the kitchen, right? A 3'6" missing wall with flat arch, which we got. 3'6" width, flat arch, missing wall. And then the pantry has the double doors into the kitchen, right? This is duplicated from those other ones. So there's our diagram. Does it look like the diagram on here? Well, let's take a look at it. Looks to me like it matches. Okay, now let's throw on some line items. So we'll go back to Estimate items, main level, content manipulation. I'm going to close the search bar because I don't use it, but if you need it, there it is. And content manipulation is CON, and it's a charge per hour times 4. So hit OK, and then tab over to 4, hit OK. Okay. For level 1, which is what this is, the line items that they give you, and this goes for the real exam as well, are the descriptions here are exactly the same as what the description is in the actual line item. Next line item we have is debris removal. So DMO, it's a pickup truck. So I'm gonna hit the space bar, just hit in pickup. For its PU. And there's one of those. And then we have equipment setup, takedown, and monitoring. I bet that's WTR. Equipment setup, takedown, and monitoring. Hourly charge is that one. And it's 2 hours. Okay. Double check. Content manipulation charge per hour. Content manipulation charge per hour. Haul debris. Per pickup truck load, including dump fees. Equipment setup, takedown, and monitoring, hourly charge. Okay. Don't think I'm not going to come back and double check these again after I put everything else in there. So bedroom 1, which is here. And we want to do water extraction from carpeted floor heavy. So that's a WTR. Type in heavy water extraction from floor heavy, carpeted floor, right? And it's the F is going to be the variable there. So it's from the floor. It's not hours or anything. And then we have tear out wet drywall, clean up bag per linear foot up to 4 feet tall. So that's another WTR one. So we'll say wet drywall per linear foot, but we want a bag. So not no bagging. It wants to be bagged. So tear out your wet drywall, clean up bag per linear foot up to 4 feet tall. That's the one we want. Perimeter floor. Next one, tear out baseboard. It's a WTR, okay? Base. Perimeter floor. You could FNC baseboard, but it doesn't give you, because you'll notice that it doesn't, again, level 1, it gives you the exact description. This is the description part. If it doesn't say baseboard 2 1/4 inch, you could do like this and then hit remove. I'm sorry, yeah, remove, and that would remove that baseboard. It's not the same price, and it's not the same line item, because this is a water mitigation estimate, apparently. The next one here, tear out wet carpet pad and bag for disposal. So WTR, wet carpet pad and bag for disposal. We're going to do WTR lift carpet for drying. Lift should be only one of those. And then we'll do replace carpet pad, not a WTR item. It's an FCC for carpet. And we'll say pad, carpet pad. That's it, right? It doesn't say high grade, standard grade, premium grade, virgin, polyurethane, whatever. It's just carpet pad. And then we change this to replace, okay? Super duper important. If you're getting a low score on your exam, this is one of the reasons why, is that you just throw this in as the default. And you can see the ampersand right there, right? If you go through this thing and look at it, there's only there's a few remove and replace ones, but you shouldn't be seeing an ampersand right there. It should be a plus, okay? So replace carpet pad. That's what that means. It doesn't mean remove and replace carpet pad. It means replace. So lay existing carpet labor only. So FCC lay existing carpet labor only. Okay. There really probably isn't another one of these. It's replace material only, install only. Just leave it as plus. Replace 1/2 inch drywall per linear foot up to 4 feet tall. So dry up to 4 feet tall, 1/2 inch drywall. Replace 1/2 inch drywall per linear foot up to 4 feet tall. 1/2 inch drywall per linear foot up to 4 feet tall. Replace, okay? What does that mean? Not remove and replace, it means replace, okay? Seal and prime, then paint the walls 2 coats. So PNT, probably SP. Seal, hold on, let's do this. Seal. Let's do this, 2 coats. Oh, geez. I'm trying to narrow it down by typing in the thing that seems like it would be the most unique about that particular line item, but that's evidently not it. So we're just going to go seal. Well, let's do 2 coats. That's probably so it's seal and prime, then paint the wall. So it's going to be a variable one, right? 2 coats, this one. So the V and the brackets, it says seal and prime and paint the walls and ceiling 2 coats, right? Well, that's not right. So we have to change the variable, which is what that V means, to walls. Now it changes it to seal/prime, then paint the walls 2 coats. Okay, that's how that works. And then clean and deodorize carpet, and then paint baseboard. So let's see, CLN carpet, clean and deodorize carpet. Enter, and then we'll do paint baseboard 1 coat. PNT, probably B, paint baseboard 1 coat. Okay. This is the bedroom. So we're going to start at the bedroom again. Water extraction from carpeted floor heavy. Tear out wet drywall cleanup bag per linear foot. Tear out baseboard. Tear out wet carpet and bag for disposal. Lift carpet for drying. It means, so lift carpet for drying means we're not tearing out the carpet and throwing it away. We're keeping the carpet. We're just drying it out. But we do have to replace the pad. So they pull the carpet up and yank the pad out and then dry the carpet and then reinstall new pad. Lay existing carpet, half-inch drywall per linear foot up to 4 feet tall to replace this. Paint the walls. So it's, even though it says paint V, it says we have the right variable in there, right? That's just the default. The description for this particular line item, and there's a bunch of line items like this, has a variable in there. You just put the variable into the calculation field. Clean and deodorize carpet, paint baseboard 1 coat. Okay, now next, bathroom. So the bathroom, air mover, no monitoring, times 2. So WTR mover, air mover per 24-hour period, no monitoring, 2. Okay. Dehue per 24-hour period, no monitoring. So WTR dehumidifier, no monitoring. Whoops. 2 of those. That's 2 days, right? So this means 2 days. If you had a room, you wanted to do it for 3 days, but you wanted 6 fans in a room, then what would you put? Right, you would put 18 because you'd have 6 fans times 3 days each. So then you'd have to add an attachment that says 6 air movers for 3 days each as an F9 note, right, for clarification. But we're not going to do that because that's not part of this. And then remove and replace 1/2-inch drywall, right? So dry 1/2, ready for paint on walls. So hung, tape, floated, ready for paint, 1/2-inch drywall on just the walls, not the ceiling. So W for calculation. And then we have seal, prime, then paint the walls and ceiling 2 coats, right? Like we did before. So PNT. We could even go back to that other one and say, which one did I use for that? SP. This is how you start memorizing Xactimate codes, by the way. So PNT, SP, walls only, enter. Remove and replace underlayment, 5/8-inch oriented strand board, floor covering, not framing, which means you could go to FRM for framing and go underlayment, right, and find OSB, 5/8-inch, but that's not the one we want. They're saying floor covering, not framing. So FCC, floor covering carpet, underlayment, spelled correctly. All right, it didn't show up in there. So what happens when that happens? If you're like, oh, well, it's got to be under FCC, and it's not underlayment. It's not there, right? So we go to our search thing here and we say underlayment. hit search. And it's going to give us the top 100 search results here. FCV, hold on a second. I accidentally threw that in there. So 5/8 inch OSB. This is the framing one we looked at. What if we did this? If we want OSB. Yeah, there we go. This will show us all of the OSB ones. It's not that one. It's not storage bin. This is for roofing. Roofing, sheathing. This is for framing. This is for framing. Tongue and groove OSB. This is for flooring, but it's for vinyl flooring, so FCV. That's the one. FCV underlayment 5/8 inch. Remove and replace underlayment 5/8 inch OSB. That's the one I'm going to use. So we'll say FCV underlayment 5/8 inch OSB. Remove and replace. Okay. Let's see if there's a difference in the price. So FRM underlayment. So framing is $1.89 a square foot. For underneath vinyl flooring or flooring is $2.42 a square foot. So the price is different. Makes a difference, right? So floor covering, that's the only floor covering one that matches what we're after. And since it's specifying it's not framing, then this is the one that we're going to use. Replace, oh yeah, well, because the next line item is replace vinyl floor covering. So that's the one. Sometimes the clue is in the other line items and instructions. So we have FCV, probably AV, right? Vinyl floor covering sheet goods. Replace, not remove and replace, but replace. And then we have tear out toe kick and bag for disposal. That's 11 feet. Toe kick is the bottom of the cabinet where your toe goes underneath the little, the little shelf under there, the little ledge thing, overhang. So it's cab, and then we say toe, or not TO, but toe. Replace, I'm sorry, tear out toe kick and bag for disposal. So it's not going to be cab, it's going to be WTR. WTR, toe. Tear out toe kick and bag for disposal, 11 feet. Replace toe kick pre-finished wood, 1/2 inch, 11 feet. So now that one's going to be cabinet. Toe kick pre-finished 1/2 inch. Pre-finished wood, 1/2 inch, 11 feet. Replace. Okay. Remove and replace cabinetry uppers, 8 foot. So cab upper, cabinetry upper wall units right there. Remove and replace, so cabinetry upper wall units, 8 foot. Remove and replace, right? Not replace, because I didn't tear them out. Remove and replace. 15 feet of lowers, same deal, cab, lower, cabinetry lower base units, nothing, no grade, no type of wood or whatever, it's just lowers. Remove and replace, 15 feet. Remove and replace countertop, solid surface, 45 square feet. So cab, solid, countertop solid surface. Again, square feet, right? Countertop solid surface, 45 square feet. Okay, then we're gonna go back through here and double check these. So we had air movers, 2 air movers, which we got, 2 dehues, remove and replace 1/2-inch drywall for the walls, seal and paint the walls, 2 coats, walls, underlayment, 5/8 inch OSB, not framing for that vinyl flooring. And that's remove and replace. And then we have replace, sheet good vinyl floor, right? Replace. Then we have tear out toe kick and bag for disposal, 11 feet, linear feet. Then we have our lower cabinets. Replace the lower cabinet, toe kick, pre-finished wood, 1/2 inch, 11 feet. We have our upper cabinets, which is 8 feet, remove and replace lowers, 15 feet, and then remove and replace solid countertop surface, 45 square feet. Okay, now bedroom 2, we have another 10 or 11 line items. Water extraction from carpeted floor, heavy. So we're going to say WTR carpeted water extraction from carpeted floor, heavy. Okay. Tear out wet drywall cleanup bag per linear foot up to 4 feet tall. I feel like we did that one already. And over here, somewhere, right? By the way, this is bedroom 1. Is it possible that bedroom 1 and bedroom 2 are exactly the same? I missed something in bedroom 1. Double check. I'm looking right at it. I can see that I missed it. And you probably already noticed it. And you're probably screaming at your TV or your screen going, Matt, you forgot to replace baseboard 3 1/4 inch. Right, but let's look at bedroom. We're back in bedroom 1 real quick here because I think we messed something up. Because what I was going to do was to copy and paste bedroom 1 to bedroom 2. So, water extraction from floor, carpeted floor, heavy, drywall, 4 feet, tear out wet drywall, tear out baseboard, tear out wet carpet and pad bag for disposal, lift carpet for drying, replace carpet pad, lay carpet, existing carpet labor only, replace 1/2 inch drywall to 4 feet tall, replace baseboard is the one I missed. So FNC B, 2 1/4 inch. So we'll arrow down. No, we won't. That won't work. So let's say baseboard. It's 3 1/4 inch. So B3 is this one. And it's replace only. Okay. Seal and prime and paint the walls. Clean and deodorize carpet. And then paint baseboard 1 coat. I'm going to look down here. I'm going to stay on bedroom 1, but I'm going to look at bedroom 2's line items and see if they match, because we just copy paste. So we'll delete this thing out of here, out of bedroom 2 real quick. A little shortcut. So on bedroom 1, and you'll notice that this is similar on the actual exams. They do this. Some of the rooms will be duplicates. Bedroom 1. Bedroom 2 line items. Looking at bedroom 1 in Xactimate. So bedroom 1, we got water extraction from carpeted floor. Yep. Tear out wet drywall up to 4 feet tall. Yep. Tear out baseboard. Yep. Tear out carpet pad, wet carpet pad for disposal. Yep. Lift carpet for drying. Yep. Replace pad. Yep. Lay existing carpet labor only. Yep. Replace 1/2 inch drywall up to 4 feet tall. Yep. Replace 3 1/4 inch baseboard. Yep. Seal, prime, then paint the walls 2 coats. Yep. Clean and deodorize carpet. Yep. Paint baseboard 1 coat. Okay, so I'm going to click on this first one, hold down the shift key, click on the last one, right click, because they're exactly the same. I'm going to hit copy, go down to bedroom 2, and I can do it here. Probably do it here too, but I'm going to do it here. Paste. Now, is that it? Yep. So, one thing I'm going to do super duper quick here is go to Documents, Reports, Flooring Waste Rule, Build with Defaults, Finish. I want to hit Resequence Line Numbers. Labor minimums turned on by default. Back here in the this guy, forgot to mention that. Every single detail in this matters. If you don't get the details right, then that's where you get wrong answers. So now go back through my line items. And again, like I said, this is how I take the tests. So main level, content manipulation charge per hour 4, pickup truck debris removal times 1, and equipment setup, takedown, and monitoring hourly charge 2 hours. Okay, got those. Bedroom 1, we have water extraction from carpeted floor heavy. We have tear out wet drywall to clean up bag per linear foot 4 feet tall, tear out baseboard, tear out wet carpet and bag for disposal. Lift carpet pad for drying, carpet pad, replace, lay existing carpet, labor only, 1/2 inch drywall per linear foot, replace baseboard, paint, clean and deodorize carpet, and paint baseboard and carpet. Very important. Very important to look in this column here. It says ACT, the activity, right? If you see any ampersands on there, any and signs, like this, you want to make sure that that's supposed to be there. So scan this column, and if you see that, then go back and look at your list of line items in the instructions and change it if you need to. Okay, there shouldn't be any ampersands on this one. The bathroom, there are, right? So we had drywall where it said remove and replace 1/2 inch drywall. But we're going to double check these line items for the bathroom. 2 air movers, 2 dehumidifiers, which we got those. Paint, seal, prime, paint the walls and ceiling, 2 coats. I'm sorry, remove and replace 1/2 inch drywall, which is where that ampersand is. Then we have the paint. Then we have our remove and replace underlayment. And then we have replace vinyl floor covering, sheet goods, which is a roll of vinyl. It's like linoleum, right? Back from the old days. Tear out toe kick and bag for disposal. Tear out toe kick and bag for disposal. Those are automatically going to have the correct activity on the water ones. Replace toe kicked, pre-finished wood 1/2 inch, 11 feet. Upper cabinets, lower cabinets, countertops, all remove and replace. We had 8 feet of uppers, 15 feet of lowers, and 45 square feet of countertop. Okay, so we have the correct number of ampersands, ands, right? And then again, our bedroom 2 should match our bedroom 1, but we're going to double check it anyway. Bedroom 2 here, and bedroom 2 on our instructions. Water extraction from floor, tear out wet drywall cleanup bag per linear foot up to 4 feet tall, tear out baseboard, tear out wet carpet pad for disposal, lift carpet for drying, replace carpet pad, right? So plus, lay existing carpet pad, labor only. I'm sorry, lay existing carpet, labor only. I keep saying pad. Replace 1/2 inch drywall at 4 feet, replace 3 1/4 inch baseboard. Paint, 2 coats, seal and prime. clean deodorized carpet, and paint baseboard. Okay, so what is the square footage of the floor in the kitchen? Double click the kitchen, go to variables. You can look here. F should be 170 square feet, right? But you can click for all variables and it'll show you the same thing. So 170, bedroom 1. Because it doesn't say, we're going to assume that it includes the subgroup of closet 1. When we look at the answers, we'll be able to tell the answer key. So the floor in here is 122.72. Bedroom 2, hall, and living room is the next ones. So floor 160.83, and here is variables. It shouldn't include the stairs because that's not a subgroup. Floor 257.62. Let's go take a look at those answers. So by the way, it gives you the category and selector codes for the answers in the Weston Estimate here. Which I believe we got correct. So 170 we said, 122.72 is correct. Square footage in bedroom 2. Okay, so it wasn't including the sub room. So 122.72. Bedroom 2, probably same deal. So you kind of have to hover around until the closet disappears. 160.83. That one's got 161.33, which is within the margin of error. Hallway, 24. And square footage of the floor in the living room, 199. It's giving me the stairs too. Okay, so this is why it's doing this. Because it defaulted to making the living room, the staircase, a subgroup of living room 1. But if you remember from our instructions, it said stairs is not a subgroup of the living room. So we have to change this to none. That's why it's screwing me up. Okay. Follow these instructions. You have to double check everything a gazillion times in super duper, like, eye bleeding detail. So let's try this again. We said that was 199. Right? The answer for that one. Now let's try it. There it is, 199. Perfect. Okay. Identify interior sketch settings is the next part of the interior. Square footage of the walls and ceiling in the living room. Go down to the answer key. That all looks right. 653. Right? 503 for the kitchen. Bedroom 1. We don't want to include that closet. 560.05. Bedroom 2, 713. 711. Still in the margin of error, but there's a measurement that's wrong in there somewhere. We're going to figure it out. Hall, 180, right? Walls and ceiling, 180.47. Bedroom 2. Nine foot 3, 3'9", 4'6". Oh, here's why. 2 foot, but that makes the difference. So back down to the answer key. Bedroom 2, floor, 161.33, correct. So that 1 inch threw me off, okay? For some reason we didn't catch that. The walls and ceiling in bedroom 2, 713.33, there it is, okay? Total RCV amount to seal, prime, and paint the walls and ceiling in the bathroom. So we're going to go to the bathroom. Total RCV, seal and prime and paint the walls, paint SP, RCV amount. It's 341. RCV we have 276. Did it ask for walls and ceiling in the bathroom? You're probably yelling at your screen going, yes, it did, Matt, you dummy. Bathroom. Seal, prime, paint the walls and ceiling. You've got to double check this stuff. I'm amazing at this, and even I'm screwing it up on the very first question. 341. Sorry, 341.86. What else have I messed up? 341.86. Correct. Unit price to replace baseboard in bedroom. 244. Baseboard. So baseboard is, sorry, bedroom 1. Replace the baseboard. Unit price 244. Is correct. Total RCV amount to tear out baseboard in bedroom 1. Tear out baseboard. 2362. It's the RCV. Total RCV amount to paint the baseboard in bedroom 2. Should be, let's see, tear out baseboard, let's see. Paint the baseboard in bedroom 2. Paint baseboard, 6411. Unit price to replace the drywall in bedroom 1. Replace drywall, bedroom 1. Unit price, 880. Okay. Total RCV amount to lay existing carpet in bedroom 2. Lay existing carpet. RCV is 85.43. Correct. What is the total RCV amount of carpet pad being replaced in bedroom 2? Carpet pad being replaced. So replace carpet pad. Well, 112.27. Unit price to tear out the toe kick in the bathroom, 234. Unit price to tear out the toe kick in the bathroom. Toe kick, tear out, toe kick, 234. RCV amount to remove and replace drywall in the bathroom. Drywall, replace. Drywall. Sorry, remove and replace a drywall in the bathroom. RCV, 677.15. Okay. What is the total? What is the line item total amount for the Weston estimate? You know, I feel like there used to be a little part on the screen in Xactimate where it showed the grand total. Guess I don't have that anymore. Line item total here, 11,295.91. 11,295.92. 1 penny off. Material sales tax in Weston should be $356.88, which it is. Total net claim $13,983.47. 48 is 1 penny off. That's in the margin of error. And thank you so much for watching this far into this video. If you like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know how much you can make as an independent property adjuster, check out this video right here. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great storm.